The observation deck of the Celestial Harmony hummed with the soft vibration of subspace engines, a sound that had become white noise to the crew over their 6-month voyage. Lieutenant Zarathic stood at the viewport, her 4 eyes tracking the swirling nebula outside, its crimson and violet gases painting the darkness with ethereal light. She was Velkari, a species known throughout the Galactic Coalition for their analytical minds and strict adherence to protocol. Her chitinous exoskeleton gleamed blue-black under the deck's lighting, and her tall, slender frame moved with mechanical precision. Beauty, as humans understood it, had no equivalent in Velkari culture. Functionality was admired. Efficiency was praised. Appearance was irrelevant. "Mind if I join you?" The voice made her mandibles click in surprise. She turned to see Marcus Chen, the human engineer assigned to their vessel as part of the Coalition's integration program. He carried 2 containers of what humans called coffee, the aromatic beverage they seemed addicted to. "The observation deck is available to all crew members," Zarathix replied, her translator converting her chittering language into standard galactic. "Your presence is acceptable." Marcus smiled, that curious expression humans made by baring their teeth, which had initially alarmed her until she learned it indicated pleasure, not aggression. He offered her one of the containers. "Thought you might want something warm. I've noticed you come here every cycle at this time." Zarathix accepted the container with her 3-fingered hand, studying him with 2 of her eyes, while the other 2 remained fixed on the nebula. In the 3 months since Marcus had joined their crew, she had found herself curious about him. His species was still new to the Coalition, barely 2 decades into their membership, yet they had already earned a reputation. Humans were strange. They felt emotions with an intensity that baffled most species. They bonded quickly, grieved deeply, and loved fiercely. They also had an unusual appreciation for what they called beauty, a concept so abstract that Zarathix's people had no word for it. "You observe this nebula frequently," Marcus said, moving to stand beside her. "Do you find it scientifically interesting?" "It is not displeasing to observe," Zarathix said carefully. This was a half-truth. She didn't understand why she came here, only that the colors and patterns created a sensation in her neural pathways that defied logical explanation. The formation patterns are regular yet varied. They stood in silence, sipping their beverages. The quiet should have been comfortable, but Zarathix found herself hyper-aware of Marcus's presence. The warmth radiating from his body, the soft sound of his breathing, the way his dark eyes reflected the nebula's light. "My people have a saying," Marcus began softly, his gaze distant. "We say that beauty is truth and truth beauty. It means that when something is genuine, when it's real and honest, it becomes beautiful." Zarathix's antennae twitched. "An illogical statement. Truth is factual accuracy. Beauty is subjective perception. They cannot be equivalent." "Maybe," Marcus conceded, turning to face her fully. "But maybe that's what makes it true. Beauty isn't just about appearance. It's about authenticity, about seeing something or someone as they truly are and finding that remarkable." Before Zarathix could formulate a response, an alarm shrieked through the ship. Her 4 eyes widened as the deck lurched violently. Marcus grabbed her arm to steady them both as emergency lights bathed everything in red. "All crew to emergency stations." The captain's voice boomed through the communication system. "Micrometeorite breach in Section 7. Containment protocols initiated." They ran together, their footsteps echoing through corridors as other crew members rushed past. Marcus's hand remained on her arm, guiding her through the chaos with a certainty that surprised her. When they reached the emergency station, he immediately began pulling up diagnostic readouts. "The breach is spreading," he muttered, his fingers flying across the controls. "If it reaches the engine core..." Zarathix didn't need him to finish. She began calculating trajectories, her multiple eyes processing data streams simultaneously. "The automated systems are insufficient. Manual override required." "That section's been sealed," Marcus said grimly. "Whoever goes in there will be exposed to vacuum within 4 minutes and 17 seconds, Zarathix completed. She looked at him, all 4 eyes focusing on his face. "My species can survive longer in low oxygen. I will go." "No." Marcus grabbed her shoulders, forcing her to meet his gaze. "Your respiratory system is different, yes, but you're not equipped for hard vacuum either. We need another solution." For the next 3 minutes and 42 seconds, they worked in perfect synchronization. Marcus rerouted power conduits while Zarathix recalculated pressure differentials. Their minds moved in harmony, anticipating each other's thoughts, compensating for each other's limitations. When the final seal locked into place and the breach warning lights finally dimmed to yellow, they stood panting, covered in coolant spray and debris. "We did it," Marcus breathed, and then he laughed. That wild, relieved sound humans made when danger passed. He turned to Zarathix, his eyes bright with adrenaline and something else she couldn't identify. "You were incredible. The way your mind works, how you see patterns and calculate probabilities while adapting on the fly. Zara, you're beautiful." Zarathix froze. The word didn't translate directly into her language. Her translator offered approximations. Aesthetically pleasing, possessing valued appearance, visually attractive. But the way Marcus said it, the emotion behind it carried meanings her database couldn't capture. "Do not understand," she said quietly. "My exoskeleton is standard for my caste. My efficiency rating is acceptable but not exceptional. There is nothing about my physical form that would register as—" "It's not about your form," Marcus interrupted gently. "Though for what it's worth, I think your people are magnificent. But that's not what I meant." He stepped closer, his voice soft. "I've watched you these past months. The way you lose yourself in astronomical data, how you click your mandibles when you're concentrating, the dedication you bring to every task, no matter how small, the curiosity in your eyes when you're learning something new." He paused, and Zarathix found she couldn't look away. "You're brilliant and precise and honest. You face challenges without hesitation. You question everything, including yourself. You're exactly who you are without pretense or deception. That's what I see when I look at you. That's what's beautiful." Zarathix's 4 eyes blinked in sequence, a sign of deep processing among her kind. No one had ever spoken to her this way. In Velkari society, one was evaluated by efficiency metrics and contribution scores. Personal qualities were noted only as they pertained to function. But Marcus saw something else. He saw her. "Your species is strange," she finally said, her voice carrying a harmonic overtone that indicated humor, something Marcus had learned to recognize. "You complicate simple concepts." "Yeah," Marcus agreed, smiling that gentle smile again. "We do that a lot." They stood there in the damaged corridor, emergency lights casting strange shadows, and Zarathix made a decision that would have baffled her superiors. She reached out with one 3-fingered hand and placed it carefully over Marcus's heart, feeling the rapid beating beneath. "Among my people," she said slowly, "we have a gesture. When we wish to acknowledge another's essence, we share rhythms." She tapped her chest with her other hand. "May I?" Marcus nodded, and Zarathix guided his hand to rest against her thorax, where the vibration of her dual hearts thrummed in complex patterns. "Your rhythm is different," she observed. "Faster, simpler, but not displeasing." "Neither is yours," Marcus murmured. They stood like that, feeling each other's life rhythms as the celestial harmony repaired itself around them. Zarathix didn't fully understand this human concept of beauty, but perhaps that was acceptable. Perhaps understanding would come with time. Or perhaps she thought was something that might have been the beginning of what humans called wonder. The not understanding was part of the beauty itself.